everybody, and welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. I'm Christy Brower, here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey, Katie,
Hello.
how's it going?
Well, it's weird. I feel like we're living in some weird sci-fi novel out there.
We kind of are, you guys.
Hmm.
You know how we have been, well, bitching and moaning, frankly, about how hot it is here?
Yeah.
Well, overnight, it's not. Last time I was in my car, it was 51 degrees. Okay, it's been in the 90s here for like 3 months.
Hmm.
It's 51 today
Hmm.
and rainy and dark. Like it never really got
Hmm.
light all day.
Well, and we're under this. It's weird because usually when we get rain like this and all the wind we've had, it blows all the smoke out. Well, this time it blew all the smoke in.
Right.
It's
It's this
just thick.
weird.
It smells like a campfire kind of outside.
It does.
It is such a weird, ominous day. It's hard to even describe what it looks like outside. Like everything around me is hazy. You can't see the mountains. You can't see
No,
the sky.
you can't see anything. It's like we're
Mm-mm.
under some weird dome.
Oh, yeah, I know. I feel like at any moment we're going to,
We're gonna,
aliens are going to jump out of the sky or I don't know what.
I don't know. Maybe did you ever watch that show Under the Dome? Maybe we're under a dome. Maybe we're in some kind of weird quarantine. I have no idea.
Yeah, it is so weird, but it's cool and
Yeah.
nice.
I know it's
It's,
wonderful outside. It's
hmm
wonderful to be outside
yeah,
as long as you
it,
don't look up because then it's
yeah,
really creepy.
or don't try to breathe too hard. Mars
Yeah.
needed to do some athletic tests that she has to complete for to be ready to head to school to play ball.
Oh,
And
uh-huh.
we went over to the high school to the track to do them today. And we got about halfway through, and I went, "This is stupid. We'll do this another day." And she was
Yeah.
doing fine, but she kept saying, "I feel like I'm having a hard time breathing." And I went, "Why are we
Yeah.
doing this? This is stupid. No, we're going home."
I went to the
Yeah.
store and was masked in the store
Hmm.
and I was friggin' dying. It's
Hmm.
so weird. The air is very heavy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're in a weird
It's weird.
sci-fi movie.
However, our county fair started today.
Oh, it did.
And if it had been hot, there's no way I could have gotten through it. Just no
Mhm.
way. Uh, the heat just stops my legs. But, when it's cool, I'm fine.
Sure.
So Mars and I went over and walked through the fair. It was a typical Madison County fair. I
Uh, Not exciting, clearly.
The one first building that you walk through when you get into the fair, it used to have like vendors, and I guess as a kid I thought it had cooler things in it. This time there were multiple American Legion booths and multiple Boy Scout booths. That was the whole first building. I'm like, hmm.
Wow.
I mean, thank you for your service and all, but really, the whole building?
Oh, yeah. Hard pass. Hard
Yeah.
pass.
And then all the Boy Scouts selling jerky and popcorn and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, see ya.
Uh,
But this
yeah.
really made me laugh. Here's the only thing about the fair that was of interest to me, probably besides the animal barns, which is the only thing I really go to see.
Sure.
I said, well, let's walk in the handicrafts building. And we walked in there. That's where people have like all of their art and their quilts and
Yeah, yeah.
crochet and the stuff they grew in their garden and all of that. Mars was like, people do this at the fair? What?
She
This is the
didn't
reason
know?
for the fair. I was like,
Like, that's a huge deal around here. I mean,
I said, I'm quite sure you've
where are you
attended
gonna
this
win?
fair. Yeah, every year, your whole life. She said, I had no idea people like submitted things to the fair. She'd never been in that building,
Where are you gonna win a blue ribbon for your canning? I mean,
right?
we live in the frontier, okay?
Right? You got to win a blue ribbon for that fabulous jar of peaches, man.
Right.
But I'll tell you
Exactly.
what, the
That is funny.
quilts in there, my God.
Ooh,
People are so talented.
yeah.
So talented.
That's why I like to go look because people are super talented.
Hmm. Yeah, my sewing skills and quilting skills are nothing.
No,
Nothing compared to that business. Wow.
definitely not my area either. I just wanted to say welcome, Red Girl, RJ, Jacqueline, Carmen, Cranky. Ooh, knocked over my microphone. In the chat, welcome, chatters. Nice to have you here. You
Yeah.
know, this is the weekly case update. We have a few things
Mhm.
for you. It's a bit of a light week, I will admit.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, We can gossip about Chad all you want, but
Well, let's do that. You've got some stuff for us
hmm
on the Daybell case. So what's up
yeah,
there?
it's a little light too. But last week, Mars and I had talked about a couple of things going on. First of all, that there was Lori actually had a court date, and we were
Yeah,
all very curious to see what was going to go on with that court date. If that meant, does that mean that she's like all spiffed up and ready to go, or no?
right?
Answer: no.
Yeah.
It was vacated. And the reason it was vacated is because there is still a stay and she is still in, the hospital, the state hospital being
Yeah.
treated. And the other part of that is that that was actually for the misdemeanor charges, the very original charges that they extradited her back from Hawaii for.
Right, the
I don't
child
know why they
protection
haven't dropped
charges,
those. Yeah, we're assuming they will, but
right? Um, Interesting. Because I was dying to know, and I was really bummed when there was no hearing because I was hoping we were going to see something.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we know Chad's got some stuff coming up in September.
Yes.
He's got his pretrial is coming up, and the hearing
hmm
for the change of venue, which I'm super curious about because it is taking them for friggin' ever to change the venue.
Well,
We've been at
right.
this since like January.
In the first case, the judge never even heard it. And now those
Right.
charges have been dropped. So
This is all brand new.
this is all brand new
If
business.
you're just joining us, we're talking about updates in the Daybell Vallow case.
hmm
Just a few things going on, mostly just hearings coming up.
hmm
I'm super curious about his pretrial conference. Is that going to be a revelation? Is he going to, is there going to be a plea deal come out of that? Are they
Well,
really going to go to trial?
but also, what's going on with Chad's attorney?
Right. See, that's my
Because
question. That's why I think there might be a plea coming up. 'Cause they have not given him a death penalty attorney.
no, and they have to,
Right?
because he is not qualified to try that case. There is a
Right. Yeah.
list.
Pryor has never tried a death penalty case before.
No, there's a list on the Idaho State Public Defense Commission's website. Now, this is public defense. So maybe I still think even if it's private defense, you still have to have a attorney that's qualified to try the death penalty, but he's not on it.
Well, and I don't know why you wouldn't, but I cannot imagine that Chad has money to hire a death penalty attorney on his own.
Right?
I mean, come
How are
on.
those funds going to keep coming?
Right. Unless he's got some wackadoodle benefactor out there, and I'm not saying that couldn't be the case because it could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have real questions there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird to me because Lori, who has a stay, has a death penalty attorney.
Yeah.
Chad, who doesn't have a stay, does not have a death penalty attorney.
hmm
And does it mean he's going to take a plea? Does it mean they're not going to trial on this? I would think he would still need a death penalty attorney to represent him for the plea.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
don't know, guys.
So
It's coming up in September though. We're going to learn a lot.
we're going to learn a lot. A lot is just about to happen. And of
Yeah.
course, we'll be here for it. It's going to be really interesting.
Oh, we'll
I
be
did
live
share a
streaming that
link.
hearing for sure.
Oh, yeah. I did share a link in the chat room of the Idaho government's, that page that shows you who is qualified for these types of cases. You'll see James Archibald on there, who is Lori's new attorney.
Well, and there aren't very many, and there aren't very many in our area.
No.
This is not a common
Oh,
first
no.
degree murder death penalty trial is not a common thing around here.
No.
Ellen says, I think Chad can have anyone he wants if he's paying for it. Okay. So if that's true, maybe he's just opting to keep Pryor,
Maybe. Maybe. I
which
had
would seem stupid, but then again, look who we're talking about.
I had talked to other legal minds that said that he does have to have someone on his team that has death penalty experience. But
So maybe you just got to bring somebody on with Pryor.
maybe you're right, Ellen. I'm not totally sure on that, honestly. My understanding is he does have to, but hey, I guess if you're paying for it, you probably can pay for whatever you want. But then again, the
Right?
state still doesn't want you to be able to come back later and say, "Well, I didn't have adequate,
Representation.
yeah, this was all unfair because I didn't have adequate representation."
Right.
But I
I know
agree.
that's real dicey. So I don't know. It's just weird to me that it happened so quickly with Lori, who is in a psych hospital and has a stay.
Hmm.
And Chad's case, which is rolling forward and rolling toward trial, it hasn't.
Right, which does make you wonder, is there a plea coming here, that because that's kind of what our prediction has been, that there would be a plea here that he really won't get the death penalty. That's just
That
a
he's
tool
gonna.
to make him turn on Lori. And yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right. And Gary says the court does not want to be frustrated with a lawyer who is not qualified and give him a reason for appeal. Right? I
yeah.
mean, they've already been frustrated with that with Means and Prior all along.
Well, they haven't, but everyone else has.
Oh no, I think the court has too because
Oh, the
they've
court
had to deal
has,
with
yes.
yeah, they've
Yeah.
had to deal with some serious bullshit out of these two.
Oh, yeah.
What does
Well,
Chad have to offer in order to get a plea? Flipping on Lori.
hmm,
You know, way back a long time ago, Prosecutor Wood had that conversation with Lori, and we're talking about the Daybell Vallow case. If you're joining us and wondering what the hell we're talking about, um, Prosecutor Wood had that conversation with
with Summer.
Summer, who is Lori's sister,
Hmm.
and he said, "We're hoping that Lori will flip on Chad because honestly, we have way more evidence against her than we do him." Now, that could have totally just been a tactic,
Hmm.
but it's kind of always stuck in the back of my head that he might be able to hang a bunch of this on her.
Hmm.
So, curiouser and curiouser, right?
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah. So Ellen says DP attorney is recommended. Got it. You know, it gets into like a whole nother level of law when you're talking death penalty cases.
It does. Well, we'll see what happens in September, right? It's going
I
to get
know.
interesting. We know
Super
that.
curious. Super
Yeah.
curious about it.
Now, Lori is only about halfway through her stay
Yep.
at the mental hospital, so we don't know much yet about her. However, there is rumblings that locals in Blackfoot are saying that they have seen her in the exercise yard.
Oh, really? Well, see, I've figured she's in Blackfoot the whole time
Mhm,
because it's literally less than an hour from the Madison County Jail.
mhm.
Why are they going to go further than that for a psych hospital? They're not.
Well, and this is the psych hospital that's really equipped and qualified to take her. It doesn't make
It
any
is.
sense to go anywhere else.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And trust me, as a social worker intern, I have been there, and it is a very secure facility.
Hmm.
Nobody's getting in or out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a that you know in her um in on her wing. No,
Yeah.
mm-mm, for
So,
sure.
yeah. And we'll see because people talk.
Jerry, I really hope she's not enjoying her stay. Me too, right? I don't think anyone enjoys their stay in the state hospital. As a social worker, I have worked with people who have had stays at the state hospital. It is not fun. The food is not good. It is very boring. They don't want people to want to be there.
Yeah.
Cranky. I hope she's having a hell of a time. I'm sure that she is because, there's got to
Mhm,
be quite a bit of pressure there to try to bring her around to reality.
mhm.
And, mental health professionals working on doing that.
Yeah. I'll bet it's not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah.
Well, Lori coming back to reality would be a hell of a crash.
Can you imagine? I mean,
Yeah.
if she really was that delusional, she was really that deep in, which we're not sure. And no closet portals there. Nope, not a single one.
They keep them all
Um,
closed, locked up even.
but then to come to reality that you have participated in the murder of your own children,
Mhm,
of your husband,
mhm,
of all of these people, your brother,
mhm.
like, yeah, it may not be a crash she can never fully recover from.
Yeah.
The hospital is harder than prison, some people say. Yes, Yeah.
Hmm.
In many ways, especially adult hospitals,
Yeah.
it is not fun. They don't make it fun, that's for sure.
No, for sure. No.
And
Yeah.
she is a prisoner, so it's not as though she's just a patient there. This is
Right.
different. She's a
Hmm.
criminal on a criminal ward, treated as a criminal.
Right.
She's still incarcerated, even though she's in a hospital. So,
Hmm.
yeah, life is not fun.
No. No, and she has much more in the Madison County Jail. She would receive someone would check on her every 15 minutes, and it's actually much more than that where she is. Like there is nary a private moment at all.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You're not treated with any kind of trust at all in a situation like that.
No.
And that really is just for your safety and everyone else's safety. And for her, she's
Mhm.
probably isolated because everyone knows who she is.
Mhm.
That blonde hair and red lips have been flashed all over the TV.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's brown hair now, but yeah.
yes, that's right. It's brown hair now. That is true.
But the other thing is that nobody wants her to have any opportunity to check out. You
No,
know,
mm-mm. The
she does
pressure is
not get,
on.
yeah, she does not get to kill herself and get out of this. Everyone,
No,
that is invested in her standing trial and being accountable for her crimes,
yeah.
she's under a lot of supervision for that
Oh,
reason.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I wouldn't want her to jump into a time machine in the closet and peace out. Yeah.
Right? Nope.
No private potty time either. No, This
Mm-mm.
is this is a zero trust kind of situation. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mouth of the South says it ain't supposed to be fun there. She's supposed to have a come to Jesus moment.
She
Yes,
is.
she is.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
exactly the point. You are absolutely correct. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Translated beings don't need to potty.
No,
That might be some reality for her right there.
Lori doesn't fart, guys. She doesn't.
Oh, wow.
So, speaking of Lori, the last week Mars and I talked about that it had just shown up on the website, the state tracking their cases website thing, that
Hmm.
there had been something filed to throw out the grand jury indictment against Lori,
All right.
but we hadn't actually seen the paperwork on that yet. But now we have. So now grab your popcorn. This, of course, was filed by Mark Means. We
Oh,
are
boy.
entertained and curious because it was filed only by Mark Means. And we really want to know what the new actual head attorney thinks of this shit. We think probably not a lot.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Means filed this, and like 2 days later, Lori's, I hate to say real attorney, but yes, let's say real attorney, new attorney, had filed a couple of things, just a notice to appear and a request for discovery because he needs to get all of the discovery that Means did
Oh, my
have,
gosh.
and then the hard drive failed, and then he wanted to provide them with the new hard drive, and blah blah blah. Same stuff, different day with Means. I'm guessing
Yeah.
that he has bad tech skills, but that's
I'm thinking Mark means the coffee boy. Yeah, that's kind
mhm,
of where he's at now, I think.
yeah, yep.
Oh,
So
Erin's
he
late.
did.
She was watching penguins. Ooh.
Well, I'd
I
do
mean, I
that too.
like penguins, but they can wait.
Well, Mark, so he filed this motion to dismiss the indictment, which, she hasn't actually been charged yet, but okay, Mark.
Yeah.
And he said that this can't happen. He said, despite personal knowledge, the state had personal knowledge that on 3/8/21 there was a stay against the defendant. Yes, there was in the case that was current.
Yeah.
Despite this personal knowledge notice to the state ignored. Wow. It does say ignored. He didn't misspell. That
I
was
was going to
me.
say, is that how he spelled it?
I'd like to say yes, but no,
You're
that
reading
was me.
phonetically there?
Ignored said order and acted in violation of this order and organized, conducted, caused to occur illegal proceedings. Come on, Mark. Come on, man. Grammarly, dude.
Yeah.
29.99, and Grammarly would not have let that one pass. I
No.
promise.
No, because that just barely makes sense.
No. Against said defendant, there is no plausible argument regarding the blatant violation of the court's order to stay. Apostrophe on courts. No, Mark, that's incorrect.
Yeah,
This supercilious actions taken by the state slash prosecution in direct violations.
supercilious. That's a big word for Mark.
I know, where did he get that?
Yeah,
Fortune cookie? Something?
maybe.
In direct violation slash contempt of this court's, again, Mark, with the apostrophes. Stop. It's
Yeah.
wrong. Previous order, the to stay warrant the issues of a dismissal of the above case and sanctions to be issued against said prosecution.
Oh, for
Again
hell's
with the
sakes.
sanctions. For God's
Again
sake,
with the
Mark.
sanctions. One day he's going to actually get his own and
Mhm.
just really deserve it.
Yep. Wherefore, defendant rightfully requests this matter be dismissed forthwith, and sanctions, costs, yet again with this, fees be issued against the state prosecution. The state pays you, Mark. So you're asking the state to find themselves and pay who more, themselves or you?
Right. Who's paying the fine to who? Mark loves exercises in futility.
Right?
Jerry says, and yes, that is so true.
Yes,
Forthwith. I
forthwith.
know the language here is hilarious.
You can almost see him like hammering this out,
Right. Yeah, totally.
at 3
Forthwith.
a.m. Yeah. And his wife going, "Are you coming to bed? Forthwith, forthwith." God creation. Anyway, so yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
It that will catch no steam at all because
It's
that's
such a
stupid.
tremendous waste of everyone's time. And this is where
Mhm,
I'm like, my God, all he does is waste time. So you
mhm.
don't get to be, like a stay from being indicted by I just forgot the word,
So,
grand jury, by a grand jury.
I
Sorry.
wanted to say Supreme Court so bad.
I was, yeah, I just forthwith was just right there, and I know that was wrong. In the grand jury, like, I'm sorry, but yeah, they can't officially charge her and move forward yet because of the stay, but they can certainly indict her.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, and it's just a waste of everybody's stupid time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, cranky, typing it out with 2 fingers. Yeah, I'm sure.
You just see it. Like you
Mhm.
just see it. Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Probably knocks the keys off his keyboard
He
and
probably
you know.
types very voluminously, if y'all remember that word. That was a favorite word recently in some hearings, although that was Pryor
Yep.
and
Prior.
Lindsay Blake, but
Mhm.
still, that was so funny. It's just this time wasting shit is so ridiculous, and I really
Mhm.
hope that Archibald gets in there and shuts that stuff down.
Oh, he
Like, come
will.
on. Let's
Well,
do things that actually matter because this does not matter,
mhm.
you know?
But can you imagine Archibald trying to have a conversation with Mark Means about how I need you to not file things without my permission moving forward.
Also, if you're going to file something, I have to see it first.
Mhm. It
I
has
will
to
be
run through
sending
my
it to
office
my paralegal or someone for some
or
serious proofreading.
someone in sixth grade to, yep, proofread it and make sure that it's
Someone in sixth
actually.
grade.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we have forthwith. Yes.
Yes. Voluminous and forthwith.
Mhm. I could only imagine. This is my thought. I'm thinking that since this case started, we have had Archibald looking at this case going, "What's this dude doing? What's he doing?"
Right? I can only
Because
imagine. Yeah.
every attorney around here is watching this case like a hawk. And you have to know that Archibald probably figured he might be brought onto this case at some point because he
Yeah.
is the only death penalty attorney or a
In our
public
area.
defender in this area. So
Yeah.
surely he figured there might be a chance he'd be coming onto this case. So he's been watching it like a hawk. He has.
He probably has, and just
So
been
surely.
chuckling or throwing his phone at his computer every time he
Mhm,
watched one of those hearings. Oh my gosh.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also would like to hear the conversation between him and Means when he goes, "Can you please send over to me all of your evidence that you've compiled, all of your discovery, everything that you're prepared to argue against, to discover there isn't any,
Yeah.
or that what it is all this, you know, superfluous shit that's not anything that's going to go anywhere in court.
It's probably just all the stuff he's gotten from the defense,
Hmm.
because that's what he's just constantly complaining about, getting stuff from them. It's like, dude's not doing his own job. It doesn't
Yeah.
appear that he's going out and getting anything, except when it came to Melanie Gibb. And I never saw where that ever even went. It kind of disappeared, didn't
It
it?
did disappear, at least for
Yeah.
now. I'm curious. Yeah. Oh, Mouth of the South says she calls Mark Means Mr. Potato Head because that's who he reminds her of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does. Yeah, he does kind
He
of look
puts on
like
his
that.
angry eyes quite a bit.
He
Yeah.
does. Yeah, yeah, he
And
does.
his shocked and appalled face. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could call Pryor Mrs. Potato Head because he clutches his pearls so much.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, anyway, lots of interesting things coming up here in the
Yeah.
Daybell Vallow matter. But that one really made us laugh.
Yeah. It really, really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Archibald probably was praying the judge forgot he was qualified to defend Lori so he wouldn't have to work with Means. Can you imagine if you're an actual skilled attorney watching all this
Hmm.
shit going, please don't drag me into this mess?
Well, and truly, Archibald is a nice guy. He really is.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing that he's going into this. This is my gut feeling that he's going into this with Means trying to cooperate with him. Trying to
Hmm.
be like, hey, we're gonna do this together. Thank you for everything you've done thus far. I'm coming in. You need to, tell me what you got. Let's do this thing. And really trying to catch more flies with honey,
Hmm.
and work with Means. And I'm guessing that Means has been an absolute prick. That's my
Oh,
thought.
I
That
bet
he's
he
been
has, because
difficult. He obviously has filed things, that perhaps he shouldn't have. There's no way that Archibald has approved that. There's just no way.
no. And you're right. Gary said he's just going to be throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, right? And
Hmm.
that's what defense attorneys do for sure. But I
Hmm.
think they actually do things that they think might actually have a chance in hell of sticking.
Right.
And
When
saying
you
that
look
the
at what
prosecutor needs
Pryor has
sanctions,
filed versus what Means has filed.
right? There's a huge difference.
Hmm.
Yeah, huge difference. So true. Well, we
Crazy.
have a couple of other things to get onto, so why don't we
Yes.
do that? So I am starting a new little mini series over on our TikTok channel. So we are True Crime Paranormal on TikTok. Please come and find us. And
Hmm.
I am starting a Deathbed Confessions series. And
Yeah.
so they're going to be little 3-minute videos, a deathbed confession that is a crime of some sort. I think it's going to be really fun. I chose a few deathbed confessions. These aren't so much crimes as they are just interesting to share with you tonight, to kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So, this comes from a handyman who worked in like a retirement home with elderly people. And because he was kind of not a person of authority, they would tell him all kinds of things that they didn't tell anybody else in their lives.
Wow.
So he says, an old Polish woman told me that she regretted not sleeping with Hitler when she had the chance. Those were her exact words.
Holy.
He said, I wanted to ask her about more context, but I was afraid to be honest.
What are the? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Yeah, don't want to know. He says another example was an old truck driver that used to work for an Eastern Germany company. He told me that he once run over some kids with his truck and was too afraid to stop and check if they were okay. See, that's a deathbed crime right there. So I'm going to be sharing a bunch more of these.
So
Um,
I have to tell you that last week on the Psychic Hour, when we
mhm.
had Nurse Hadley as our guest, I think it was JR actually that asked if she had heard any like crazy deathbed confessions.
Really? I have not listened to that show. So
I
that
know
is
you have it.
super
So
funny.
this is funny, and but the one that she told us about, you're gonna die. Uh, she said that she was with a man that was dying and his wife. And he said, I have to tell you something. And before I go, and she said, okay, what? The wife did. And he said, I hit that kid on purpose. And she was like, what? What? Why? What are you talking about? Well, as it turned out, earlier in life, he had hit a kid on a bike with his car. And the kid walked away. He was okay. But
Uh-huh.
he told his wife on his deathbed that he hit that kid on purpose.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she said, why? And he said, I don't know. I just saw him there and thought I should hit him. So I did.
And just swerved at him? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so she actually was required to report that to the police because
yeah.
it was a confession of a crime.
Mhm.
She said, where, the perp was dead and the kid that he hit actually walked away from it. They didn't do anything. But anyway, so funny that you brought that up because that was
That's
something we
so
heard last
funny.
week from Nurse Hadley.
Well, it turns out that it is something that is kind of common, that people that will have gotten away with a crime all of their lives will fess up right before they die to a nurse, a doctor, a family member, sometimes a stranger because they don't feel like they can tell their family.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I thought this would be a really fun little series over on TikTok because we can do
Love it.
just really short, videos, but
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you some stories about some crazy deathbed confessions of some crimes. So, follow us over on TikTok. We're True Crime
Mhm.
Paranormal over there. And I'm really excited about this. So, definitely come follow us if you're a TikToker. Also, I'll be sharing them also on our Clapper. If you're not a TikToker, but you are a Clapper, because I don't know if you know, but Clapper is kind of an alternative to TikTok. I don't know what that means, but it came out weird. But if you are a Clapper and you want to follow us, we're also there, True Crime Paranormal.
Yeah.
And we're on Instagram as True Crime Paranormal. And so this little series will be on all three of those places in case, you prefer one over the other. I'm going to be posting them on all three of those social media sites.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Red Girl, when I was in high school, the neighborhood bully deliberately swerved and hit me with his truck. Holy canary.
I'm not laughing at you. I was laughing at Cranky's comment. Wow. Hello. Get it together. Uh,
Yeah, that's terrible.
that
I'm
is
so
really
sorry. I'm
terrible.
so
I'm
glad you
glad you're
lived.
okay. Yeah.
Cranky, I know what the clap is, but not clapper. Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I was laughing. Yeah.
Clapper is basically TikTok for adults.
Yeah. It's TikTok without some of the bells and whistles and all the
Yeah.
dancing. And yeah.
Yeah, it's more just for adult stuff and
I like it.
well, I mean, there is adult stuff on there, like adult, but that's not what
Yeah.
it's for grown-ups. It's not for teenagers. Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
I just cannot get my words correct tonight.
So Gary was also hit by a car.
Oh my God,
And
on a
Red Girl said
bike.
it messed her up for a bit, but not too badly. My God.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Gary wonders if it was on purpose. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I have to
What
tell
the?
you, yeah, what's going on with people doing
Yeah.
things like this? Yeah, with Red Girl, it was on purpose. Yeah.
He admitted it
Wow.
was? Oh my gosh.
That is insane.
Oh,
So,
cranky.
Cranky, you made me think about the clap. And my kids sent me a TikTok that they were laughing so hard about. I have just always been like a not very serious mom. And
Mhm.
anyway, they said that they thought this was something I would do, but this was a TikTok of this young man who, early on in COVID, his mom told him that they were calling COVID the clap. And he apparently didn't know what the clap is.
Oh, what?
And he got COVID. So he'd been telling people that he had the clap
Oh, for hell's sake.
because he had COVID. So then he went to the doctor's office for just for like a general checkup. And he told them that he had had the clap back in March. And they made him have some additional exams and blood work. And
Yeah. Oh my hell.
he came home and told his mom, well, that was the weirdest doctor's appointment. And I told him that I'd had the clap back in March and they acted really weird and made me have some kind of not exams I would have expected.
gonna hit
So,
your lungs.
so then she had to fess up to him that she had told him that as a joke, and that the clap isn't really what anyone's calling COVID, or what the clap actually is. And at the end of he was pissed in the TikTok. It was so funny. I just about died laughing. But in the end of it, he said something along the lines of, "I've got to go make some very uncomfortable phone calls."
Yeah, I bet he does. Oh my gosh, that is
He's been telling all of
fan.
his friends that he had
They
the
had the
clap.
clap. Oh my hell. Oh, that's so funny.
His mom is my hero. My kids are
Yes.
right. I would do something like that.
Heck yeah. If it was
Yeah.
funny, probably would, yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I have to double back here about all these people talking about getting hit by a car on their bike. I hit a car on my bike in
Yeah.
junior high.
Did
Because
you
I
do it on
wasn't
purpose? Now I have to
no.
know. Don't wait till
I
your deathbed to tell me.
I did not do it on purpose. I was not wearing my glasses. And I didn't even see the car. And I rode right out and I hit them like
Hmm.
broadsided the front right before the driver's side door, like right before it,
Hmm.
and flipped over backwards. I was wearing shorts and a tank top, like road rashed to hell. And I just jumped up and got back on my bike. And the lady goes, "Wait, are you okay?" And I just rode out of there as fast as I could go because
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'd be in trouble. I don't know. I just kind of freaked out. I went home, I locked myself in the bathroom, and I am just bleeding everywhere. Oh my God, I was road rash so bad. And then
Yeah.
I finally had to fess up to my parents what I'd done. And it was because I wasn't wearing my glasses. So
Yeah.
anyway, apparently we all had a rough time in junior high and high school on our bikes. Not cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm the only one that didn't, apparently.
Apparently. That poor
Yeah.
woman, I'm sure I gave her a freaking heart attack. And then I just got on my bike and rode away as fast as I could and didn't even speak to her. I just left. She's like, "Wait, wait." And I'm just out of there, man. Right. I know. I didn't see the car. Cars are big. Yes, I need to keep my glasses on. I am extremely nearsighted. So, yeah, if that tells you how nearsighted I am, I didn't see a car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do that, but I did have a terrible wipeout on a skateboard one time. I didn't hit a
Scooter.
car, but
Wasn't it a scooter?
no, it was a skateboard.
Oh, there
And
was, oh, there's two.
there was a road by our house that it was a hill. It wasn't a super steep hill, but it was a hill. And I went to skateboard on it without any shoes on, as you do when you're a
Oh,
kid and an
yeah.
idiot. And I started cooking down that hill and couldn't slow down and got going faster and faster and was afraid that I was going to end up out in traffic. To add to this, I was wearing a dress. And when I bailed off the skateboard, the dress was long, like clear to my ankles. And so I could only step so far. And so I did this step, 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 fall, die, 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 all the way down the hill because the dress like impeded my ability to step, as will. And yeah, I it was a bad deal. My feet really hurt. I ripped my dress, and that was a bad deal.
Yes, it was.
I was not an Olympic skateboarder, that is for sure.
That is for sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, not fun.
Hmm.
Well, I
Yeah,
know we have one more story
we do.
that is a 40-year-old solved case. So, Katie, I know you were going to talk to us about it. You've got a picture for us.
Yes, I do. This case is very sweet. All right.
Yeah.
So, this beautiful girl here, her name is Sonia Carmen Herrick Stone. She was 30 years old when she was murdered in 1981. She lived in California. Pardon me. She lived in California, and it was a cold case pretty quickly. Well, it wasn't. They had a suspect, but she worked as a merchandiser for Levi Strauss and Company.
Oh, yeah.
She lived in Monterey County, and there was a lot of press about this case. There was Levi Strauss and Company, helped to, helped her family and paid a lot of attention to what happened. Like, it was just a really terrible thing, of course. She had just one daughter. Well, she had a neighbor that was a creepy guy named Michael Glazebrook. And they looked at him as a suspect initially, and they did go to trial in 1983, but they didn't have a lot of evidence, and it ended up as a hung jury. And the DA
Sadly, creepy
decided,
guy isn't enough, although
yeah,
often we know long
mhm,
before they have the evidence when there's the creepy guy around.
right. Looking at you, Gacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, so the DA decided not to retry it because they just didn't think they had enough evidence to convict, so that it ended right there. And they didn't have anyone else. It just went cold at that point. There was just nothing else. Well,
Yikes.
last year, some of the detectives, the sheriff's detectives that work in Monterey now, and the district attorney decided to re-examine the case because, again, DNA is,
Right.
coming up big. So they took several pieces of evidence that could be sent off for DNA testing, and guess what? They got a match. And guess who it was? Yep, the same creepy guy,
Were you
Glazebrook.
creepy guy? Ooh,
Mhm. Yep. And guess what? He still lives in Monterey County. Thank God the dude's still alive.
right? At least there's some kind of closure.
hmm Still lives in Monterey. He was arrested last week. He has been booked. He's on a warrant for a murder with a bail at $1 million. The really cute thing about this, they were so excited to be able to get some closure on this case for Sonia and for her
Yeah.
family that when they arrested him, they all wore Levi's. Isn't that
Oh,
cute?
that
I tried to
is.
find a picture of them in their Levi's. I thought that was really sweet, but I couldn't find one. But anyway,
Wow.
so her family will finally get it. Yep.
Finally have some closure. Wow. It's really cool that we're seeing so many of these old cases come back up. I just hope that some of our current unsolved cases are going to get the same kind of attention,
Yeah.
and get the same kind of closure. And I know we are in a lot of cases, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yep. For sure. I'm just
yeah.
glad he was alive.
Right?
And
These
still
are
lived
so
in the same
disappointing.
county. Arrogant bastard. I guess he got
Right.
off on it once and figured that there was never going
They
to be
weren't
any
ever going to
more.
really get him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that is
Yep.
very cool. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're right. Looking at you, Gacy. Ugh. If you guys
Yeah.
haven't listened to our John Wayne Gacy episode or watched it, it came out this morning. You definitely want to, if you know that case, even if, or if you don't. I mean, if you're a real true crimer, you know who John Wayne Gacy is. But
Yeah.
his stuff has come back up again because Peacock, the channel
Yeah.
Peacock, just did a new um, documentary on him, and they used a bunch of footage that hadn't really been released before that was talking to him, and it is some chilling stuff, you guys.
Yeah.
And it always is, but I mean, that dude was so remorseless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my
So
gosh.
sure of
Yeah.
himself. Oh.
Also, somebody in our comments mentioned if you don't have the Peacock channel, look for that John Wayne Gacy uh, doc on YouTube because it's up on YouTube as well. It's been made available on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube so that people can watch it even if they don't have Peacock. So check it
Nice.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, JR says check out Crazy Not Insane. It's a fascinating documentary. I will. Thank
Interesting.
you. I spend a lot of my time watching documentaries, you guys.
Well, and
Yeah.
especially right now, as long as we're under this blanket of smoke,
Oh yeah.
that's all we want to do.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I think that is everything we have for you guys tonight.
It is. Now, we'll
We
be back tomorrow night with the psychic hour. And
Yeah,
per popular request, we're going to talk about aliens.
we are. It has been requested repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
So it is time for us to we're going to go there, you guys.
We
We're
are
going
going
to
to go
go there.
there. You guys, we are. not going to show up in our tinfoil hats, but we are going to show up with what we have experienced,
Or maybe we
what
will.
we
I don't know. I kind of thought about making one, but I did have a nice vacation. Thank you. But it's really nice to be back. I miss these live streams. They are a lot of fun, you guys. I like to
Yeah.
interact with you all. So it's nice to be back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're going there. We're talking aliens tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain live stream on YouTube and Facebook. So do not miss it.
Yeah. And if you've had any experiences, please come and talk about it. We want to
Right.
know.
Be there in the chat. Share it with us. We want to hear. We're going to share ours. We want to hear yours as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you know it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. But we are the Psychic Sisters with True Crime Paranormal, as you know, and we're getting super paranormal tomorrow night.
You
So
bet.
thanks for being here. Have a great night.
Take care.